Okay, so welcome to the Node.js N-API Team meeting for May 11th, 2020. We'll follow our usual agenda style. Does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share before we get started? Okay, if we have no announcements, I will share the milestone that we usually look at. And we can go through there. So the first one on the list is the next node add on API release. I think in that case, we left that open because we were looking at what we would need to put into a 2.x release. I guess I don't see anything beyond this one request. So I'm wondering if this is, who did this one? This was, so Gabriel, you put this together, I think, or was it Anna? I'm just wondering if you have a sense of how hard it's going to be to backport.
No, I think this was Anna, but I don't know. Short of trying to backport it, yep. I have no idea.
Okay.
So which one is this? Well, let's just do a quick cherry pick. Oh, and we'll need like a staging branch, I think.
Yeah, like another branch for.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll need like 2.x.
Yeah, we only had one release, 2.0.0, nothing else.
Right, okay. I guess it'll really just be whether that cherry picks cleanly by itself.
Yep. Okay. So there on 2.0 state. Oh wait, we usually call them V something, right? So let me just rename
if we look at the tags, or the tags, we have like.
Oh wait, I heard there is already such a branch. I may have made
it does not look like it's public. You may have made one for that other reason.
Yeah. No, local. No, it's local. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but like, so yeah, I guess we just want to branch off that tag.
Yeah.
But it should be like, you're right, like a V 2.0 or V 2.x staging or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, currently my V 2.0 coincides with the tag, so there's absolutely nothing there. I just made it one time and then I didn't do anything with it. So. Okay, so then, oh geez, do you have the commit ID handy? You had it up a second ago.
Yep.
I just need the first couple of digits.
Absolutely. Hold on.
646 it was.
Right, it's this one. It's
4E88506. Okay,
yeah.
4E88506, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, obviously there's a conflict. Why not?
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, I guess the. It's not like we have a whole bunch of files, right? So.
Well, we might have to pull in a bunch of commits to get to that one, because usually if you pull in everything, because I think we had a couple of like object wrap related commits, and that's probably why it conflicts. You can't just boom land it. You need to land all the preceding ones that we're dealing with object wrap.
Right.
So, all right, I'll look at that. So, okay, it's not as simple as cherry picking. We've established that now.
Okay. Okay, but is that something you'll take a look at?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay, so that sounds good. And then I guess once we get that in place, we can figure out how much, like when to do a release, but that's probably the first step for sure. Maybe comment on the issue once you've figured out if that's going to be hard or not. We can continue the discussion there.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, next one is transfer the NAPI tutorials into the OpenJS Foundation.
Yeah, so Michael, you have an issue open with the TSC?
Yes, I do. So let me remember. Let's take a look at where that. Did I post that into here?
There it is.
Oh,
Oops.
sorry.
It has the green button. It farther down.
Oh, this one, right? Okay. Okay, so I see this is us.
So I think your issue
Okay.
is just sitting out there. But I don't see any response on yours, Michael.
Yeah, no. Well, I see there's like 5 people said +1. So Sam was
Yeah.
on the TSC, but that's about it.
Okay.
So it is marked for TSC agenda. Let me see if it was on. I don't think it was on. I may have put it after the fact. In terms of the last TSC agenda. 7th of May. It's probably that I added it after the thing was generated because it's generated Monday morning.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So that will go through its natural course.
Yeah, unless there's a well, here, let's double check. Like unless there's an urgency to it, I would suggest I can leave it on the agenda for. Why is this? Which one was this? No, 507. Okay. I'll have to double check why there isn't one for this week. Okay, anyway, it should be there. I'll double check to make sure it's there, and if not, do something. But
and then on the technical side, I have found my objective is to get it so that it brings in the code samples from the actual examples themselves that we will eventually have CI running it on every night. So I have found a plugin that does that, but when I enable it, it conflicts with the framework I'm using to generate the documentation. So I'm just trying to, it's requiring a deeper dive into Gatsby, and I'd like to understand why that's not working. So that's where my energy is going right now. Okay,
sounds good. So it sounds like you're working on it, not blocked or anything. So.
Right.
Okay. So that was the things we have listed here. I guess then looking at any issues in the modules. I guess actually maybe we should back up. The Kevin had sent an email about we talked last week about release sort of proposal, how we would handle releases going forward, that kind of stuff. I don't know if people have had a chance to read that yet.
Yeah, I have not.
Okay, so maybe we should wait. We can talk about it in the email if people haven't had a chance yet.
And unfortunately, my email's on the fritz, so I haven't seen any of that thread. So I can't talk about things by email. Unfortunately, it's just messed up right now. Trying to figure it out.
Okay. Well, he just sent it out, I think, not too far before the meeting. So I'd say we try and continue through email, and then. And I guess, are you thinking it's going to take you a long time to fix that?
If you can forward it to my personal email, the thread, that would be awesome. It's
okay. Which one is it?
That's gabrielschulhof@gmail.com. So it's the same as my work one, except there's no period between my first name and my last name, and it's at Gmail, not at Intel.
Okay. Maybe just paste it to me in Twitter.
Or
Twitter
that,
DM?
yeah.
Like if you paste, no, I meant if you paste me your email in Twitter DM.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That way I'll make sure I get it right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, I'll forward that to you, and then we can continue there. And if we haven't resolved it before then, we can talk about it next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so then we can dive into if there's any issues. Like, are there any issues top of people's mind that we need to dive into, understand, talk about?
Yeah, there's my email.
See. Okay, that one looks like it's moved forward.
I have the 720, the issue 720. Yeah,
This one, okay, yeah.
yeah. So the reporter here is trying to compile native add-on under MSys2 using a MinGW64,
Right.
and all the things were good until you need to link. No, when you use the linker, you will get errors.
Right.
And this is only on these happen only on Windows. And he solved a problem providing this node.def file that contains all the symbol exported on the NAPI.
Right.
From the NAPI. And this is the same problem that I found on Cynic.js, because I had the same problem, no, with some work, and I solved it in a different way. I created a stub for an API, and I compiled. I compiled and then rebuild an native add-on. But the problem here is that if you use Node.js and then zip, you can switch to a different compiler if you are on Unix, no, on macOS or on Linux. But if you are on Windows, you cannot switch compiler. You can only use the Windows, the Microsoft compiler. But if you use CMake, you can switch the compiler, but at the end you will get the error at the linking time. Oh, okay, this is all the question, I think. And this guy asked to export this node dev file, but my point was that it's not Node.js API the right place, because we export an API like CAPI from the core.
Right.
Okay, this is the discussion that I had with the reporter of the issue.
Right. So it's not about the header files, right? Because those are in the node headers, which are shipped separately from the binaries, right?
Yeah. It's okay. The header files are good, yeah, you need to have to specify. Okay, in my case, yeah, I need to specify. Okay, the linker won't the library, no, and I built a fake library, a fake NAPI library.
Right.
Yeah. But he created this node.dev file that contains the symbol definition, and he used this file to do the same. This is what I understood.
Right. Now I assume those files would be different for any platform.
I don't know this. So maybe I can ask him if we can use this this definition file for any platform. But my question was if how do we manage the experimental function? No. So we have some experimental function, and so we need to insert this function, no? this symbol in the node def in this definition, or we need to add these only if we enable the experimental function.
I'm thinking we almost, if you want to use these kind of files, you almost need one for every NAPI version, and then one for experimental as well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So basically,
maybe.
it's like experimental, which should always be a superset of everything, and then you could have, you know, an API version 3, 4, 5, and those would have, now this isn't going to solve his problem because I can see UV default loop and UVQ work, which we're not going to include. But but I can see I can kind of see, so this basically then lets you build your shared library without your add-on without even needing Node at all.
Yeah. I tried this without Node, but now I have if you I have other type of problems, but yeah, it could be a solution, but I'm not really sure, because at the end I had some experiment, some error on loading the native add-on.
Okay, so it still didn't
There
quite
was
load.
an error, yeah. So I don't know if I missed something on exporting on creating the dynamic library on Windows. But
Right.
this you in Unix this is too easy, because yeah, you can use some flags, and you one second.
Just out of curiosity, when we build on Windows, does it not produce these files automatically as part of the build process? So I know it does like a node.lib file, and so like, you know, this would have to become part of the build for Node.js, right? And then part of the release tarball is to have these like .def files, right? So this strikes me as more of a core issue than Node add-on API issue.
It kind of depends. Like
if we want to maintain by hand a list of
right.
of function names, then yeah, and then we can maintain those by hand. But ideally, we just produce them when we build Node, right?
Yeah.
And then it would have UV, and it would have OpenSSL, and it would have everything in there.
Yeah, if that, I mean, the flip side I could also see is, do we want to provide one which just has what is used by Node add-on API, so that you can build your add-on, not necessarily like you can build an NAPI add-on which shouldn't use any of those other things, just with what's
Right.
provided with Node add-on API, right? Like I can kind of see that being interesting, as opposed to like everything in Node itself, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, we can do it, but so far, like you said, there's only one person requesting it, and this wouldn't solve
Yeah.
their problem because it wouldn't contain all the symbols. So
No.
but have we commented to that effect? Because maybe we should, because like they use more than an API, it seems.
Right, they're using the default loop and the queue work.
Yeah. Why are they using that? I mean, that's why we have like the async stuff.
Yeah, unless
So,
for some reason I'm hoping we don't leak those out or something, or don't use those in Node add-on API.
no, I don't believe so. We never include uv.h.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's exactly. So that's my first thought, is kind of like, oh, wait a second. So we should comment that there. Still, like, okay. So, but if we forget that, is it an interesting enough use case that maintaining this file, like manually maintaining this file for once for each NAPI version, is not a huge amount of work, right? Where it could get to be a bunch more work is if it's different for every platform.
Well, but nobody uses def files except for Windows.
Yeah.
Right. There's probably some equivalent though. Like I know AIX, you definitely can't just, like I think Linux may just export all symbols.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to which platforms require you to know what exists or not when you're linking, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And
Windows
Linux
seems
doesn't.
to,
Linux. Yeah. Linux. I think every Unix, I guess, except for AIX, will just leave symbols unresolved, and it's like whatever, you're using it. It's your responsibility to provide this at load time.
Yeah, I'm not sure about AIX, but there was definitely something where we needed to generate list of symbols exported by.
Yeah.
I think it may be that that was to actually export them from the Node binary, so it may not be needed in this particular case. But anyway, yeah, it's just if there's more platforms, like if OS X or other Linuxes needed it.
Not that I'm aware of.
Or Sonos. So yeah, so maybe it wouldn't be that much work.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, I mean, if like I'm trying to figure out how we might be able to generate this. Like if we build against, like, if we just run like a job that builds on Windows, and I guess we'd have to have like we do have a kitchen sink add-on, right? Because we have the tests, right? And the tests are all one add-on. So then as we build that add-on, the compiler on Windows might be able to give us a list of the things that we're using from Node, and then create like a def file from that. There might be some sort of switch on the compiler that will let us do that, and then it'll produce like a def file. That's the only thing I can think of. And then we if we wanted one def file for each version of Node, or for each version of API, then we might want to compile. Well, that's not gonna be fun. Our add-ons with like NAPI version set to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then
I'm more like, is it worth doing all that work to automate when, like, in terms of the NAPI versions, there aren't that many of them, and like basically copying the old file and adding a couple lines.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess it could probably be done by hand, and then just have the file. But okay, where do we put the files? I mean, do we make them part of the release, or do we just have them sit in the repo? Does it matter?
I think you'd want them part of the npm package, right? Because if you're gonna, the idea was to be able to compile. Now, I guess it's not used in the regular compile flow, but it still would be, yeah. I don't know. That's another
Should be
good question. Like what actually helps in terms of this, in terms of where do they just need to be in the repo, or do they need to be in releases, or what?
Yeah, so I mean, part of the NPM package doesn't really make sense because they're not using any of this workflow anyway. But I mean, one thing that I can think of is to have like a tarball on the like the releases page. But then again, on GitHub, right?
Right.
But then again, if we do that, then why don't we have, you know, the NPM package there as well? But then that doesn't make sense, you know. So I'm not sure. Because like we don't build binary tarballs, right? We just don't.
Mm-hmm.
We're not that kind of a library. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe just having it part of master and just sitting in the repo, I think might be okay for them.
Right.
Well, if we do it, then let's see if that helps them, right? And then we'll go from there.
I need to read through and understand a bit better, but that doesn't seem unreasonable.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a huge amount of work if it's going to actually be useful, but. So, but I guess also, Nick, you wanted to validate that you understood how it was working, because if you couldn't get it to work properly, then let's not do anything until we at least have somebody on the team who understands how they be used.
Yeah, he said that in the weekend he updated his work, and in the next days I will go through his work, and because I won't understand all the all the projects that he all the workflow that he followed, and to understand if it's good, and I will report to you next week, and I will continue to discuss with this guy about so my doubts about this, and for me this is good, because this could be open the way to compile on Windows with different compiler. Instead, if you are on Unix, you can do something like this that I posted on the chat. You can just set make _ global _ settings on your binding zip, and all work. you can change the compiler like you want. In Windows, it's not the same. Yeah.
Okay. I see. So you can't actually use the regular Node JIP infrastructure to build it if you want to use that other compiler.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So I think that sounds good. If you're going to do some more investigation, we can also read a little bit more on the issue, and then if you bring it back next week, we can talk about it in more detail. Sound good?
If you want, you can assign the issue to me.
Okay, I will do that. Okay. Right. Any other issues that people wanted to bring up?
There is a new issue, the 722, that I just see now.
Okay.
So I.
Okay, well, we should take a look, but yeah, if it's just yesterday, we'll hopefully get a chance to look this week. Any other ones that people want to bring up in terms of things we should talk about, either here or in the core repo? I think this one, upgrade GCC on the CI, I think we kind of agreed that we wouldn't necessarily update them. We try and change the EX code version to work with the existing compilers.
But these come from the Kevin PR, and we discussed them maybe last week because Node 10 uses GCC 4.
Yep.
And we, if I well remember, we decided to put to merge the Kevin PR when Node 10 go out of maintenance, and in the meantime we can create another branch when where we can merge the actual PR of Kevin. This is what I remember.
Yeah, so I think, I think he was gonna, the downside was that we end up with more code duplication, but we was gonna go with that for now, and we'll reduce the code duplication once 10 goes out of service.
Okay.
And the current LTS versions all are higher. I think this one we can close is just what I'm thinking, right? So Gabriel, you'd opened that, but I think you okay with us closing it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Okay,
is
so we'll close that.
This is not
just notice that in the list. So if there aren't any others there, let's just look in Node. Tag.
There is one PR that changes on the NAPI doc. There might be need a clarification. The number is 3319.
Is that a PR or a?
It's a PR.
PR, okay. So you said, let's just see if this shows it up. You said 33.8, this one? Okay.
Yeah, this one. To me, this doesn't seem like a typo. So I'm just, maybe Gabriel can comment on this.
I'm trying to figure out the context. Yeah, because it is instance data. Let me see here. No, I think this is correct. Yes, this is correct. Yes, this PR should land.
Okay.
Yeah, because So basically, what I'm trying to say is to address this situation, an API provides and so that's why. Yeah, but whenever I type env, I type env. Yes, so this is definitely a typo, and somebody's caught it, which is great.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, any others that we should talk about? So maybe I'll just even comment in here. We discussed in latest. Okay. Any other ones that people are aware of, have seen that we should talk about?
Not I.
No, okay. So yeah, so we can look at them this week as normal. I guess at this point, we can take a quick look at, let's just see, NPM,
How we're doing.
see if that's still, the trend has been upwards. Let's see if we're still
Yeah.
We're doing
still
well.
slowly going up. That's good. Okay, I guess anything else we should talk about then? Actually, I did think of one. I'm not going to make it next Monday. It's a holiday in Canada. So Gabriel, can you host the meeting?
Sure, can do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well then talk to everybody next time, or next
Okay.
time for me. Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.